Before the gods had names, what colossal forces ruled the heavens, shattering mountains and stirring the seas into fury? In the cradle of eternity, where chaos birthed order, these titans awoke, not born of flesh, but forged from the earth's raw fury and the sky's unyielding wrath. Imagine a world untouched by mortal hands, where the ground trembled under footsteps that could eclipse the sun. They were the first architects of fate, weaving storms into tapestries of terror and beauty, their whispers echoing through the void like forgotten prophecies. But what if these weren't mere myths? What if their shadows still linger, hidden in the fractures of our world, waiting to be unveiled? Tonight, we descend into the abyss of legend, where the Greek titans hold secrets that could rewrite the stars themselves. Feel the weight of eons pressing down as we chase the hidden truth buried beneath layers of time and tale. The Titans, primordial giants whose reign predates the Olympians, born not from love, but from the violent union of sky and soil. Cronus, the serpent-tailed ruler, devoured his own to cling to power, his sickle gleaming with the blood of his father. Rhea, his shadowed queen, wove deceptions in the cradle of caves, her tears carving rivers of regret through the stone. Oceanus, the encircling river god, whose waters whispered secrets to the abyss, binding the world in endless flow. Hyperion, bearer of light, whose gaze ignited the sun's first blaze, casting long shadows that birthed the dawn of fear. And the Cyclopes, forge masters of thunder, hammering bolts in depths where lava sang lullabies to the dark. These were no benevolent deities. They were the raw pulse of creation, their every breath a cataclysm waiting to unfold. From the cradle of Minoan Crete to the storm-lashed shores of Mycenae, whispers of these giants seeped into the soil, shaping the first fires of human faith. Environmental fury birthed their lore, earthquakes that swallowed villages, tsunamis that erased coasts, titans as metaphors for nature's untamed heart. Survival etched their names into bone and bark, rituals born of desperation, offerings flung into chasms to appease the devouring earth. Early linear B scripts, scratched on sun-bleached tablets, hint at these behemoths, not gods yet, but forces to be bargained with, feared, revered. In the shadow of Mount Olympus, their mythical throne, ancient forges belched smoke that blotted the gods from sight. Here, in the womb of prehistory, the Titans weren't invented. They were remembered, echoes of cataclysms that scarred the collective soul. As clans gathered under starlit canopies, the Titans rose from oral tapestries, their forms sketched in soot on cave walls, guardians against the night. They shaped lives like clay under thunderous palms. Farmers invoked Iapetus for fertile furrows. Sailors pled to Tethys amid tempests' roar. Temples hewn from living rock echoed with chants that mimicked earthquakes. Priests in serpentine robes swaying to rhythms of the deep. Sacrifices of the choicest lambs, their blood pooling in grooves carved to feed the insatiable ground, binding mortal pleas to immortal hunger. Prophecies unfurled like scrolls in the oracle's trance, foretelling eras where titans would slumber but never truly fade. Stories passed through generations like heirlooms of bone, the warrior's pre-battle oath to Atlas, shoulders bearing the weight of impending doom. The queen's midnight offering, silver chalice raised to Mnemosyne, muse of memory, ensuring the clan's tales endured beyond the grave. In harvest festivals, dances mimicked the Titan's strides, feet stamping earth in homage, drums pounding like hearts of the world below. Children, wide-eyed at hearthside, learned of Prometheus's fire theft not as rebellion, but as a spark of defiance against cosmic indifference. Faith bloomed in these rituals, a living vine entwining stone and spirit, making the invisible tangible, the ancient alive in every breath. Yet even the mightiest thrones crumble when ambition festers like rot in the roots, and so the Titanomachy dawned, a war that rent the firmament. Cronus, paranoia gnawing his immortal core, swallowed each child at birth, fearing the blade that once felled his sire. But Rhea's cunning prevailed. Zeus, spirited to Crete's wilds, suckled by the goat Amalthea, amid nymphs' vigilant watch. Grown to godhood, Zeus thundered from Olympus, allies forged in the Cyclops' blaze, bolts hammered for his vengeful hand. The clash began with earth-shaking roars, Titans hurling boulders like scornful words, Olympians countering with tempests of divine ire. Atlas bore the heavens on buckling shoulders, his cry a dirge that silenced birds for leagues, as stars wept meteors in sympathy. Prometheus and Epimetheus, kin torn asunder, one chaining fire to man, the other regretting the gift in blood-soaked hindsight. The Hecatoncheires, hundred-handed horrors, unleashed their fury, winds howling from palms, boulders from fists, drowning the fray in elemental wrath. 10 years of cataclysm, rivers rerouted, forests incinerated, until Tartarus yawned wide to swallow the vanquished whole. Temples once vibrant with incense now echoed with abandonment, altars cold as the void, vines claiming what faith had forsaken. The great flood of Deucalion, whispered as retribution's tide, swept away remnants of Titan worship, waters rising like vengeful tears, invasions from the north, Dorian spears glinting under alien suns, shattering shrines where Titan hymns once lingered on the lips of the lost. New faiths bloomed like weeds in cracked stone, Olympian cults overwriting the old. Scrolls burned in pyres that lit the path to erasure. An era consigned to whispers, maps redrawn without their mountains, histories polished smooth as river stones, worn by time's indifference. Even gods can be forgotten. Their thunder reduced to legends murmured by madmen, their forms dissolved into the ether of what was. Empty altars stood sentinel in overgrown groves, offerings of wildflowers wilting unheeded, the air thick with unspoken grief. The end of an age, not with a bang, but a hush. The world's turning page leaving Titan chapters torn and scattered to the winds. Silence fell like a shroud over sacred sites, where once the ground had pulsed with their indomitable steps, now still as held breath. Generations passed, the faithful dwindling to hermits chanting in clefts, their voices cracking like the stone they clung to, and in that quiet void, the Titans slumbered not in defeat, but in waiting, seeds buried deep, awaiting the rain of rediscovery. Centuries later, in the Renaissance's fevered grasp, scholars like Ficino unearthed scrolls from monastic dust, eyes alight with forbidden fire. Explorers in the Peloponnese, picks striking sparks from earth, unearthing metopes where Titans writhed in eternal marble agony. Heinrich Schliemann, bulldog of the past, sifted Troy's layers, finding echoes of Titan wars in Bronze Age blades bent by godly blows. In Delphi's sacred groves, inscriptions decoded by moonlight, revealing hymns to forgotten lords, their syllables singing of primordial might. Lost temples in Sicily's shadow, rediscovered by seismic whim, walls whispering of Enceladus, buried beneath Etna's fiery breast. Artifacts in Athens's vaults, sickles of bronze, amulets of lapis, hold vibrations of rituals long silenced, humming to those who listen close. What truth hides beneath the dust? Fragments of a puzzle, jagged as the gods themselves, pieced by hands hungry for the whole. Modern historians sift the sands of Hesiod's theogony, lines blurring fact and fable, unearthing a lineage that defies Olympian polish. Archaeoastronomy maps their realms to constellations, stars aligning in Titan shapes, as if the night sky hoards their exile. From forgotten Mycenaean tombs to Etruscan whispers, traces surface like breaths from the grave, pulling us back to the brink. And so the bridge spans, past's ruins to present's gaze, inviting us to question. Were they echoes of history, or harbingers yet to roar? Now, in the labyrinth of interpretation, theories bloom like nightshade, beautiful, deadly, veiling truths in speculation's silk. Were the Titans alien architects, seeding Earth with genetic fire, their war a cosmic coup veiled in myth's mist? Erich von Däniken's Chariots of the Gods, landing in Thessaly's cradle, bestowing thunder tech mistaken for divine wrath. Or spiritual metaphors, Titans as archetypes of chaos tamed, Cronus the ego devouring potential, Zeus the integrated self rising anew. Jung himself pondered their depths, shadows of the collective unconscious, primordial forces bubbling from humanity's shared dream. Geological echoes ring true, Titans as personified plates, subduction zones swallowing siblings in Earth's tectonic tango. Plato's Atlantis, perhaps a Titan holdout, sunk by hubris's quake, its rings concentric wounds from primordial strife. Ancient technology whispers, cyclopean walls too vast for mortal hands, levers and pulleys lost to the fall, or anti-grav secrets in stone? Feminist lenses reframe Rhea's rebellion, Gaia's matricide avenged in subversive seeds, Titan women as Earth's fierce matriarchs. Philosophical veils lift to reveal existential dread, Titans as the absurd, their overthrow humanity's futile grasp at meaning. Multiple paths diverge, no single lantern to guide. Alien seed or soul's shadow, tech's ghost or Earth's groan, we chase phantoms in the fog. History blends with haze, speculations spark igniting philosophy's pyre, leaving us not answered, but alive with the questions burn. Logic grapples with imagination's wild mane, Titans straddling the divide, foot in fact's clay, head in dream's ether. Viewers, ponder in the afterglow. Which thread pulls you into the weave? Science's scalpel or myth's embrace? The mystery rebuilds its throne, brick by enigmatic brick, daring us to climb without summit in sight. As we linger in this liminal space, the Titans teach, truth is not a destination, but the thrill of the eternal hunt. Blend the boundaries, let history hum with what-ifs. Philosophy, dance with the dust of the deep. No full answer, only the echo of the asking, a siren's call from the chasm where certainties fear to tread. Engage the mind's forge, hammer speculation on logic's anvil. Sparks fly, but the blade remains half-honed, sharp enough to cut illusions. Imagination unfurls its wings, logic clips the feathers. Together they soar, tracing Titan trails across skies uncharted. In this alchemy of thought, we glimpse not gods, but mirrors, Titans reflecting our own buried giants, awaiting the call to rise. Theories cascade like Olympian rains, nourishing the soil where questions take root, ever-branching, evergreen. Leave the puzzle unsolved, the door ajar. Step through into the thrill of the unknown, where Titans still stir in their sleep. And as the credits of certainty fade, the real story begins. In your thoughts, where the hidden truth finds its truest home. The gods may have vanished, but their echoes remain. In the quake of a heartbeat, the storm of a sigh, the unyielding pull of the past. Nature reclaims the temples, ivy veiling marble wounds, wildflowers blooming where blood once fed the stone. Stars wheel above the rubble, indifferent witnesses to the rise and hush, their light threading through cracks like silver veins. Ocean waves lap at ancient stones, eroding edges but etching deeper the tales they hold, salt-kissed and eternal. In museums' hush, artifacts whisper to the curious, their silence louder than any sermon, bridging the chasm with tactile truth. Literature's pages turn in hidden libraries, Shelley and Byron invoking Titan shades to fuel romantic fires of rebellion. Modern myths in film and verse, Percy Jackson's quests echoing the old wars, Titans recast as villains with hearts of hidden gold. Environmental anthems sing their names anew, Gaia movements hailing Earth Mothers against industrial Cronus's devouring maw. In quantum whispers, physicists ponder multiverse titans, Big Bangs as their birth cries, black holes their forgotten prisons. The legacy lingers in our bones, seismic dreams stirring unease, a genetic hymn to forces we can neither slay nor fully embrace. Reflection calls us to the edge. What if their fall was ours? A caution woven in myth's loom, urging balance before the next unraveling. Honor the echoes, not as ghosts to exercise, but guides through the gathering storm. There roars the wind in our sails. In every quake, every eclipse, feel their pulse. Reminders that power's throne is rented, not owned, by time's inexorable hand. The hidden truth? Not in stones or stars alone, but in the stories we tell ourselves, reforging chains into ladders to the divine. Titans teach resilience in ruin, creation in catastrophe. Their legacy a forge where we hammer our own fates from primordial fire. As the veil thins between eras, let their whispers fuel your fire, questioning not to conquer, but to commune with the infinite. Perhaps they never left, only changed their names, lurking in the labels we slap on the storm. The stone, the soul's deep stir. In the quiet after thunder, hear the invitation. Rise, like Zeus from cave's cradle, to claim your portion of the cosmos. The end is but a breath before the next beginning, myths cycling like seasons, titans seeding spring from winter's iron grip. Carry their hidden truth as a talisman, not for answers, but for the awe of the ask, the shiver of the unseen. Let the echoes guide your gaze upward, to skies that once bowed, now beckoning with borrowed starlight. In reflection's pool, see not just the fallen, but the fire they kindled, the unquenchable spark in every dreamer's eye. The legacy endures, a river carving canyons of curiosity, flowing from antiquity's source to your moment's shore. Titans, teachers in twilight, remind us. Even in chains, the spirit strains toward freedom's fractured light. Emotional anchors in our storm-tossed lives, their tales tempests we navigate, emerging scarred but sage. Reflection bids farewell not with closure, but with a key. Unlock your myths and find the gods within. As curtains draw on this chronicle, feel the weight lift, replaced by wings of wonder, ready for your own odyssey. The hidden truth about the Greek Titans? It's yours to unearth, in the soil of silence, the stars of supposition. Perhaps they never truly fell, merely fragmented into us, shards of eternity glinting in mortal frames. In this emotional crescendo, let reverence ripple outward, a wave honoring the waves before, the depths that birthed the tide. Legacy's loom weaves onward, threads of Titan tenacity binding past to pulse, ensuring no end, only evolution. Stars above ruins wink conspiratorially, as if plotting the next chapter with night's velvet hand. Ocean's embrace over ancient stones murmurs approval, salt-preserving secrets for salinities yet to savor. Nature's palette repaints the forgotten, green on gray, bloom on bone, a testament to life's defiant artistry. In every heartbeat's hush, their rhythm resonates, a subterranean symphony conducting our unwitting choir. Reflections mirror cracks with compassion, shards reflecting not loss, but the luminous lineage we inherit. The gods may sleep, but dreams defy dormancy. Titans stirring in our slumbers, scripting sequels in the subconscious script. Emotional anchors drop deep, grounding flights of fancy in the gravity of genuine wonder, unfeigned and profound. As echoes fade to whispers, let them linger like incense, scent of the sacred, smoke of the seen-through. Perhaps they never left, only metamorphosed, names new but essence eternal, in the nomenclature of the now. In this valediction veiled in veil-lifting, carry the curiosity as crown, Titan's true throne, worn by the questing heart. The hidden truth unfolds not in revelation's roar, but reflection's ripple, subtle, sustaining, sublime. Legacy laughs last, a low rumble underfoot, promising more myths from the marrow of the maid. Stars, stones, seas, they convene in quiet conspiracy, scripting our stories with strokes of stellar script. Emotional epilogue etched in ether. Titan's tears turn to dewdrops on dawn's delicate edge. Reflection refracts the finale. Prisms of possibility painting paths untrod. Invitations infinite. The gods may have vanished, but in vanishing, they vitalize. Vapor trails of vitality veiling the void. Nature's nod to the narrative, reclaiming with roots and rain, rewriting ruins into reveries renewed. Ocean's ode over obsidian, waves weaving laments into lullabies, lulling listeners to legend's lap. In Star's silent seminar, lessons linger, Titans as textbooks torn, pages fluttering free for fresh footnotes. Legacy's lantern low but lit, casting long looks back to lure us forward, flicker of foresight in the flame. Reflection's realm, rich with resonance, rings the curtain call with ripples reaching round the world. Perhaps they never left, only lent their light to lesser lights, luminaries in the lineage of lore. Emotional exhale, expansive and echoing, exhaling the epic into everyday's embrace. The hidden truth, a heirloom hummed in the hush, harmony of heart and history's handclasp. As arcs conclude in quiet crescendo, carry the chord, Titan's timbre tuning your tomorrow's tale, nature's final flourish, framing the fade with fronds and fireflies, flickering farewells. Stars salute, subtle and stellar, signing off with scintillation's soft spell. Ocean's outro, oration in undertow, undertones of undying undercurrent. Reflection's reverie, rounding the recount with radiance reborn. The gods may have vanished, but in vanishing, they vitalize. Vapor trails of victory veiled in vista's vastness. In legacy's lap, lull into luminous longing, legends latching onto life's loom. Perhaps they never left, only layered into the lattice of living, latticework of lore's lasting light. Emotional envoy, enveloping the end in embrace's eternal echo. And so, with hearts heavy yet hopeful, we close the chronicle. But the Titan's truth? It opens ever onward. In you. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. See you next time.